Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Let me. All right, let's do an update today. What is going on with the markets? Eh? Let's do an update today across the markets, and I want to share with you a few things. Let's go to here. Let me remove you. There's a few things I'm going to be covering today. I'm going to be covering. Well, first thing I'm going to be covering what's happening in the markets right now. We're on the brink of tipping point. We are on the brink of tipping point. I personally and want to share with you what I'm seeing right now when it comes to the tipping point. We're either going to see a very fast move down from here because of the Iran and everything that's happening with the war and stuff like that. But then also, I want to share with you why I believe no matter what happens here, I believe by the end of this year, no matter what happens this month, I believe by the end of this year, we're going to be making a move towards 9,000 on the S&P. So this short-term volatility that could be starting right now, and we'll go through the charts and we'll go through everything from there. I want to share with you that the roadmap to what I believe is moving forward. Okay. Then I also want to talk to you about to the right here of this image on this screen here. This is the AI generated, and that's Paul Tudor Jones, Ray Dalio, and David Hunter. Yes, the faces may be off. David Hunter's face is not right. Just bear with me, okay? I want to walk you through that and what that's all about. But then also, I want to talk to you about the 2020-26 sector rotation playbook, how using GAN or how I use GAN to find the next opportunities in the markets. And I want to share this with you here across this here and how I use, and because that's the thing, right? For me personally, I'm always looking for where are the markets to make the what are the next markets to make the next big move, right? Because we want to get in before the big move. And so I want to talk to you about some things that I use when it comes to GAN around that there. And it's a bit of a sector I play. And this is how I trade. Even when I'm looking for trading opportunities, I'm like, okay, where's that next market? Where's the next stock? Where's the next sector? Where's that next market to make that next move? Or from there, from that there. So I want to cover that with you today, guys. And then obviously I'll be covering all the markets like TMF and TLT and stuff like that. And a whole bunch of down home country goodness here. Before I start, guys, one of the things from a disclaimer point of view, but also from an honest point of view, guys, no matter what trade you put on today, no matter how confident I am, and no matter how confident you are, do not be loading up on big risk. Everything switched for me in my trading when I started. Every time I get into a trade now, I say, what is my risk on that position? What's my risk here? So just remember that, right? Too many people are losing so much money because they're just like, this is the big one, right? And then they go from there. So, and also make sure you get my book, How to Create a Fearless Trading Psychology, that gives you a missing X factor and unstoppable winning edge as a professional trader. It's a free book. It's based off my 20 years of experience, but also I've factored in a lot of things from Jesse Livermore, W.D. Gann, those sort of people, about the wisdom of what I've learned from those people. And I put it all in a 9-chapter book. And I promise you, just after reading chapter number 1, light bulb moments are going to start to come in your favor there. So let me walk you through this here now, and I want to go down this path here of showing you what's going on here. Okay, cool. So let me go to some things now I want to share with you guys. Rule number 1, guys. Rule number 1. No emotion, right? No emotion. right? Let me do this here. Let me take this. All right, talking to you. You, no flying off the handle this week, right? Market drop, stay calm. Market go to the moon, stay calm. Either fear and greed, those emotions is never going to bring about good decisions in the markets. So if we do get a serious move on the downside, do not let your fear run away with you, right? Because when that happens, you're going to make really bad decisions because you're in a fearful state. And on the flip side, right? So the thing for me is no matter how much money I make in the markets, I'm always bringing myself back to staying humble. Like, for example, in January, I did really well in January. I made a lot of money in January. I had two really big successful trades, a 330% profit and a 300% profit on my investment. I made a lot of money in January. But even for me, right, stay humble, stay humble, stay humble. Greed, 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 greed. Stay humble, stay humble, stay humble. Fear is also, oh, no, 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 no. Oh my God, oh, crash, crash. Oh, that's it. Stop. No. Do not go down this big rabbit hole of fear. All right. So if the market does start to sell off this week, do not be emotionally getting involved with this. Right. It's just, it is a big mistake for you that I see a lot of people do. Being professional in the markets is about bringing both sides. The greed, I'm the shit. Look at all this money I'm making, right? Oh, the market's going to humble you big time, right? Or the fear side. Oh my goodness, oh, it's going to crash. Oh, it's all, Stop. Bring it back to the middle. Stay calm. Okay. What's going on right now? Right? What's going on? Okay. All right, market's going down a bit. It's actually, I'm in a trade right now. Oh, okay, the market's going against me right now. I'm not liking this right now. Okay, cool. What's going on? What's happening in the markets right now? What's going on? And what do I need to do here? Right? Do I need to get out and just cut the losses? Is this a short-term little freak out before we see another move back up again? Like, what is this? And come back down to some equilibrium, right? When we start, when we know, right, when we're these heightened emotions in the markets, which the market loves to do. And by the way, one of the biggest mistakes that I'm seeing most of you guys do is you're using candlestick charts and you're zoomed right in, right? So if we have a big red candle, you zoom right in on that big red candle and your emotions are jacked right up. Don't be doing that, right? Don't be doing that. Stay calm from there, okay? Now, let me go to here. Okay, cool. So, hey, I just posted a question on your latest short. Are you backtracking on your melt-up call? No. Remember, a melt-up happens when the melt-up happens, right, Roger? So here's the thing that I need you to understand, okay? Here, all right, let me show you this here. This is, and Roger, my man. Let me show you this chart here, okay? I've always said that I don't know when the melt-up is going to start. I've always said once we get above 7,000, that's when I believe we're going to start. We're not above there yet, so we haven't got the trigger. Very important to understand, okay? If you've been watching me, Roger, for a while, you've been listening, like looking at my short. No, I'm not backtracking my call, right? Sometimes the market needs a little bit of a cool off before we actually go for that big move. So it's important to understand what to look for in the trigger there. Either way, and I've posted this probably 1 billion times, Roger, if you followed my stuff, this is what I see at the end of the day. We have a freak out right now. We're going to 9,000 by the end of the year. We don't, and it starts to move. We start to have a nice move up here. That's the both scenarios that I see happen in the markets. Either way, I see this market continue up from here. So, and just remember what a melt up is, right? A melt up is what? A strong move in the markets. But even in a melt up situation, you do get these little freak out periods. Sound check, sound check. To the moon, to the moon. Start live. There you go. Tops in the house. Okay. So I hope that understands. I hope that. Hey, there we go. Okay, cool. So let me bring this down to here. Let me bring down to this section here. Okay. I want to start off with the big picture with what I'm seeing here right now in the markets. Okay. So for you guys that are obviously involved with the markets here right now, and for you guys that are trading the markets now, one of the big things I'm seeing you right now, and your biggest mistake that you're doing is you are focusing so much on the short-term movement and not where the puck's going this year. The big money is made in the long-term movement, not the short-term shake and bakes. Again, if you're a short-term trade in this market right now, trying to predict what's going to happen next, I'm very confident we're going to see a 9,000 S&P. I don't know how that's going to happen. All I know is that I'm long the S&P 500 right now. And when it does happen, I'm going to make a lot of money. Are we going to drop here right now or not? I don't know. I don't care. I'm very confident in seeing another really big move to the upside. But how does that form? See, that's the biggest thing for you guys that are short-term traders. You guys are losing a lot of money right now. You are blowing yourself out of the market. I want you to be thinking about the big picture here of where we are in the markets, okay? Because I think a lot of people just don't understand the big picture here, right? Firstly, I want to talk to you about the big thing about tops in markets, okay? People look, if we do think about major tops in markets, right? Major tops in markets, or even just significant tops in markets. Significant tops in markets come from when there's an overwhelming majority of people being bullish that market. So if we listen to the stock market, there's still a lot of nervousness around, oh my goodness, the market crash and so on and so forth. And I promise you, if we get a few percent more move on the downside, people are just going to be freaking out, absolutely just freaking out. So, let me do this here. There we go. So, but I want you to understand the sentiment of things of where we are right now. Okay. And that's where the market can give you these lemons, right? Volatility and short-term movements. But one of the biggest things that stops a lot of traders who are trading the markets is they forget the big picture. They're so focused on the market went down this week. Oh my goodness, it's the start of the stop. What's the trend, right? And so, but I also want you to understand about where we are in the cycle of things. Okay. Now, bring it up to this one right here. Paul Tudor Jones has recently just come out in the last 6 months and said this is like 1999 again. Right? Ray Dalio, if you've listened to Ray Dalio, one of the most smartest and most successful hedge fund managers on the planet, in the last couple of months, he put out an article on LinkedIn talk about stimulating into a bubble. And he specifically talks about the coming melt up. Now, you guys that are not successful, what are you doing? You're, oh my goodness, the market's down 10%. Oh, stop. You're forgetting where the big picture is. Right? And that's what stopped you from the last 5 years, right? Every time we had this freak out, you're jumping out of the building, you think it's game over, and then it goes right back up and you miss an amazing opportunity. And then it happens again, you think the same thing and you miss an amazing opportunity. And then it happens again, the same thing happens and you miss an amazing opportunity. Remember, when these freakouts happen, there are amazing opportunities in the markets. Just look at this here. But John, this time's different. Oh, really? This time's different, eh? No, right? And by the way, if you are trading on this time is different, that means you're trading on the percent that doesn't happen that often. That means you're having a very low win-loss ratio. Good job in your long-term success. Where are you going to be 12 months from now, 5 years from now, trading that way? Come on, let's actually build up a solid foundation of things. Not this time is different, but this happens most of the time. Oh, now we've flipped it on its head. Oh, now we're going to have a much more of a high win-loss ratio. Now we're going to have a much better chance of having a successful trade. Most people trading this time is different. and then they try to trade that 2 times different. That means let's use a percentage term, that means 20% out of 100%, 20% of the time, oh, this time's different. Oh, you're trading the 20% of the success. Well, then that means 80% of the time you're not going to be successful. And this is where, like, a lot of traders, you guys are trading in a way where you're having the probability against you, right? Firstly, one, reversal trading, trying to short the market right now. Good job on that. It may only go down a few percent from now if it is going to go down, and then it's going to face rip a rally once again. I did a video a few days ago saying face rip a rally coming. Secondly, when it comes down to this whole thing about the markets right now is that, again, your success. Now, this is if you want to be long-term successful in the markets. If you're here just for the quick bang buck, let me make $1 million today, get out of here. You're going to lose all your money anyway, okay? And it's your own fault as well, too, for looking for the get-rich-quick scheme, because it doesn't exist. The whole thing about this here is this, okay? The market's on a path of destiny right now. And if you, once again, Paul Tudor Jones, and if you listen to Ray Dalio, it's stimulating into a melt-up. Now, the big thing about stimulating into a melt-up, stimulating into a bubble, should I say, and then the coming melt-up, is we can get short-term little drops in the markets. It's like, but John, the market should be going up right now. Right? And again, and listen to the legends of the markets. Don't listen to me. Listen to the legends of the markets, like a Ray Dalio. What did he specifically say on that? He's painting a very clear picture about what's going on right now. One of the most successful hedge fund managers on the planet, the largest hedge fund manager on the planet. And a person who's involved with the markets every single day, not from just an economic news article thing, right? But the truth. Let's go down to the truth. If you read his article about that stimulating into a bubble, you'll be able to see specifically what he's saying there. Okay. So the first thing is that these legends are telling you about what's going on. They've seen this thing. They've seen the same story again and again and again, because the same thing happens again and again and again. But so many people are so ignorant and so arrogant that they think they know it all. Oh, I'm not going to listen to a Ray Dalio. Now, remember, Ray Dalio is a bit of more of a bigger picture, not what's going to happen this month. An overall path of where we're going. Right? And that's where people say, oh, well, the market went down 10% in the last 2 months. Ray Dalio's wrong. You are completely now mixing it up there. He's more of a bigger picture overall. He's not a short-term, oh, the market went down, the market went up, market went. No. He's seeing where the puck's going. And if we just stop being so ignorant, so arrogant, and think we know it all, and listen to the legends of these markets instead of running around like a headless chalk, oh, my goodness, oh! And we actually listen and we actually see what they're telling us, you'll be able to get some insights about what's going on right now. So wrapped on with all of that, from that perspective there, and then I'm going to overlay of the sentiment of these markets. Why did Bitcoin have a big drop just recently? Right? Why did Bitcoin have a really, really, really big drop just recently in the last 6 months? Well, you can see why, and that is because if I just show you this here, I'll bring up let's do this here. So I'll bring this up to here, okay? Roadmap, right? And the reason I'm giving you the roadmap, because you're going to be freaked out. Oh my goodness, the market went down 5%. Stop with your emotion. Right? Stop with your emotion. Let me do this here. If I look at this here, okay? Oh, John, this time, okay? Remember, why did we get such a big peak with Bitcoin around this whole, we've been in this big channel here for around 23,000, okay? Around 123,000. Think about that John's Free Gift, the psychology of that the book. I talk about this in the book here, right? It's so interesting. You must understand that there's the psychology to this markets, and there's nothing new. Major tops or significant tops are formed when people are screaming to the moon, to the moon, to the moon. It is always opposite. That's why 90% of you watching right now are losing money. And that's why 90%, and that's why I've had so much flack about my TMF call. And I've been in it for 3 months. And the last couple of months, I was underwater. Now I'm back to break even, slightly back in profit again. Oh, John, you're an idiot. It's not going to work. Blah, 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 blah. Like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm telling you right now, if 90% of you guys watching this video right now are agreeing with me, I'd be very worried, because that's the way the market works. Right? And then what are you going to say? What are you going to say when you're not smart enough to actually sit down and actually listen to the legends and understand the psychology of this market? What are you going to say? Oh, I knew the market was rigged. They said the dollar's going to collapse and it didn't collapse. Oh, the market rigged. Oh, this guy, Peter shit. Oh, John Howell. Blah, 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 blah. Wrong. Stop. No, you just got it wrong. You misread the fine print. The fine print said, whatever this headline says, the market's going to do the opposite. That's the fine print. But you didn't read the fine print, did you? You said, oh, dollar collapse. Or silver just got to keep going up, right? Silver's got to keep going up. Listen to the herd, listen to the noise. Why was I so happy? And I've always been long the metals and miners, but why was I so happy to short silver? Right? I was so happy to short silver here. I shorted silver here, and on this drop here, that's when I made just a lot of money on that short here, because the noise was so loud, right? The noise was absolutely just screaming at you. So if we have a look at all these things here and why Bitcoin actually why Bitcoin actually topped here, can you guys see that? You can, yeah, right? If you see that, right? If you see that, and you see this whole, thing in the market here, just give me a sec, guys. Just give me a sec. Oh, that's a bit better. I need to get some professional lighting going on. Who cares? Get back to the markets. So the whole thing about this here is the sentiment, right? The sentiment around the markets here. And so whatever's happening right now in the marketplace, think about the sentiment in this marketplace. So is this the start of a big crash right now in the marketplace? Well, let's just listen to the herd. What is the herd thinking? The herd actually thinks crash, right? There's a lot of talk around the PE ratios and everything's too high, and this is the worst time, and the economic data, and oh my goodness, everything is so bad, and the war, oh my goodness, it's going to crash. You watch the face ripper rally come. Because the market is opposite to the extremes of what we think. That's why the market exists, by the way. Because 90% of people get involved in the market. They say, I'll take your money, I'll take your money, I'll take your money, I'll take your money, and I'm going to give it to these people over here, just the few percent who understand this. Now, how do I understand this now? Because it's called experience. I've had 20 years experience in the markets. But what does that experience come from? Bad judgment. What does that bad judgment come from? Thinking the same things and going down that bullshit rabbit hole of losing so much money. I was like, and then it happened. Right? And then it happened. So let's just look at the market from a perspective here, okay? The market's on a path of destiny right now. If you go back to think about what I just said there, Ray Dalio, and they're telling you what's going on, the things that matter to the markets, okay? Secondly, up the top here in Bitcoin, when we were up the top here, I'm not joking, when we were up the top here, there was so much, Bitcoin's going to 1 million. Tom Lee, 250,000 Bitcoin call, and all this bullishness. It's going to the moon, 123,000, and celebrate. Really? Right? And then I saw just so many people come out, like people that weren't even in Bitcoin. Like I have people that I listen to about marketing, my business on YouTube, and my business, actually my coaching business, online marketing and so on and so forth, and advertising on YouTube and so on and so forth, my advertising, like that sort of stuff there. I follow these people for that because they're good at, how do I advertise on YouTube for my business? So I listen to them because that's what they're really good at, Guess what they were doing at 123,000? Selling everything, selling their watches, putting all their life savings because they were saying this keeps going up. He was doing that. And I saw him doing it. I'm like, you have no idea what the market's about. You're really good at what you do about advertising on YouTube and they're helping people have market on YouTube, but you have no idea about the market. And as soon as he was starting to talk about that, I knew we're getting very close to the top because he was saying words were put all your life savings, put all your savings into Bitcoin as it just keeps going up at 120. And he even had 100. He even had this thing on his post on his YouTube channel. He had a post that said that, and then he had an image that had a train 123,000. Which was the very top in that. Unfortunately, that thing there, when I saw that, I knew it was the opposite because I've just learned so much in these markets. So the opposite is true in these markets here. So one thing I want to say to you guys is stay calm, no matter what this week or this next couple of weeks brings, right? Stay calm within this because we are in a path of destiny. And if you are going down this rabbit hole of saying this time is different, then unfortunately you're going to get destroyed because you're seriously not listening to what actually moves the markets and you're going down what you think moves the markets. Right? Let's layer the foundations here. Firstly, they're actually doing more QE right now. Right? Listen to what Paul Tudor Jones said about 1999. Ray Dalio, one of the most successful hedge fund managers on the planet, talks about stimulating into a bubble. Now, when he says that, it's not about, oh, well, the market's never going to go down. That's just markets go down. Market go down, form high, low, market go back up. Market come back down, form high, low, because that's an upward trend, right? That's what an upward trend is. So, from this whole perspective here, all right, and looking at what I've seen and what I've seen all the time. Can I bring this back up again? I can. What I've seen all this time is this here. Okay, stimulating into a bubble. And because the reason why I say this is for this reason here. This here is the war sheet cheat sheet. If I'm looking at the noise in the marketplace, and this is why it's very, very hard for the average person who doesn't understand this, because the average person are followers. Average person just wants to follow everyone else. Oh, everyone else is now trading silver. Oh, silver, this time's different. And then boom, in your face. Which, by the way, I think metal's going to have another big move to the upside, by the way. Because by the way, silver and gold were up here with euphoria, and then it dropped hard. And then it's actually just now there's like, I'm not sure what's going on right now. So there's a lot of the noise that was around the metals and the miners have just like, they're just gone. Right? So remember, the market works in opposites. Amazing buying opportunities come. And amazing buying opportunities come from when we're down here. What is down here? This is why most people just, when they're trying to see where the overall puck is going and not this short-term movements, is one of the reasons why I'm very bullish my TMF. One of the reasons, okay, is because guess what? The slew of comments that I've got from John, you're an idiot. Why are you doing that for? That's too risky. Okay, cool. Not risky for me. And because I'm getting those comments, it makes me even more comfortable about that level there. So just be careful. No, understand what you're doing. Put it this way, if your thought about something about a market is in line with a lot of people's YouTubes and comments in comment section, and you're in line with that, what they're saying, get ready for pain. And this is where like a lot of people just don't understand this thing, right? They don't understand about that situation there. If you think about it, when was the perfect time to invest in gold? Was it the last 6 months when we've had this big bull move? Or was it back in 2023 when it didn't do anything for 3 years from 2020 to 2023 into 2024? And everyone was saying, you're an idiot for owning gold. Why aren't you owning Bitcoin? Because if you bought Bitcoin 3 years ago and if you bought gold 3 years ago, where would you be? Ha, ha, ha. I own Bitcoin. You don't. You're an idiot gold holder. Huh. Where was the best place to invest or even get involved with something? It was gold back then, right? It was when the ha, ha, ha. Why are you buying gold for? You should be buying Bitcoin. If you bought Bitcoin 2 years ago and if you bought gold 2 years ago, how much money have you made? Ha, ha, ha. I own Bitcoin. Guess what? The pendulum swings, right? There's always a swinging pendulum. The ha, 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 you're an idiot for buying that becomes, oh shit, I want to buy it. I'm missing out. Ha, 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 you're an idiot. Look, yeah, well, you're buying that shit market. Oh, what are you buying that shit market for? Right? That's not doing anything right now. You're hopeless. That's too risky. Oh, well, why don't you buy this other thing that's already up 400%? You're an idiot for buying this. 2 years later, that same person now saying, shit, I'm missing out on this big bull move. I better get into it. You have people laughing at you to people agreeing with you. And then that's when you're exiting. And this is the way the market works. And then they go again and again and again. Because most people who are involved with these markets, they're not professional traders. They're not down the professional route. Like most of you guys are not going to be here in 2 years time frame, 1 year time frame from now, because you're not treating it with a professional. They're not treating with some sort of professionalism to what the way you're approaching these markets. That's just the truth. Most of you guys watching right now are losing a lot of money because you're having too much risk. You're going with the herd, and you don't understand the sentiment of things. What I'm saying here. And so again, this is why one of my best positions, and I said it, and I actually said this on my wall as well too. Let me see if I can bring this up here. Right? I even said this on my wall, and that is I'll just show you this here. I'll bring this up to here for you guys. Oh, can you see that? I'll be waiting. Okay, here. Now, let's do this here. Okay. So, let's go down to here. I've always said this one here, okay? There's a lot of volatility. This one here. Why I've said my number one greatest trade for 2026 is TMF. And so that's always the hardest thing about trading, right? It's the hardest thing about getting involved in the markets, okay? And this is the same thing for here, right? My calls this year. Silver crash. Silver crashes by 30%. That's not a crash, John. Oh, shit. And one day, and this is it, TMF fine bottom starting now, rates drop, XLE. These are the things that I've called, and stock market S&P 9,000. Now, here's the thing, though, right? Here's the thing. Because the herd mentality is totally against me, like that's never going to happen, John. You're an idiot. Big crash is going to come. I'm very confident in my call. I'm long the stock market right now. What happens if the market goes down 5%? Is the top in? No. Stop. Why? Because, oh, by the way, don't day trade. This here. If you're day trading, especially in this market, day trading, short-term trading, you are getting destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. Because once again, I want you to show you something here that this is here. Look at this here. Once the drop is over, 9,000 S&P 500, here we come. And that's where, like, Roger, I'm not sure if you're still watching, probably not, but you're like, am I backtracking on my call? No. We just need to see what's going on here. So let's actually go to this here, all right? So I want you, the reason I'm starting off this live stream, or just starting off, is I want you to understand the big picture here. What is the big picture right now? And so the big picture is what we're actually seeing from there, right? And so we can see this from here. So if we have a look at all these markets from here, and we see like from an actual stock market point of view, right? We could get a sell-off here. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing that people think just because we get a bit of a sell-off now that the big move to 9,000 is never going to happen. But the market is on a path of destiny right now. And so when we look at this gigantic, oh, by the way, for you guys that are emotional traders, one, you're not fit out to be a trader unless you start to learn how to control that. And the only way to learn how to control that is two things. One, lower your risk. And two, start looking at the markets from the big picture here. Now, a lot of you guys that are looking at the market from the big picture like this here, then because you're not educated around looking at the markets like from these levels here, this is the weekly chart to the left, daily chart, because you're not really educated around looking at the markets of these big pictures here, this here is much harder for you guys to read because a lot of you guys are trying to zoom right in and you're like, well, there was an up bar here. Like, look at this volatility here. Just insane. You guys trying to pick short-term movers, especially in this market? No. So that's the way that I remove my emotions. One, reduce my risk, which I have low risk every time, no matter what I get into. And secondly, look where we're at right now. So the way that I see it is that even if we do get a bit of a drop down to here, we may get a movement down to here somewhere. And that's all she's going to write. Now, here's the thing though. This is the chart here you want to keep an eye on for. This is the daily chart. Look at this daily chart here. Mark my words. Mark my words. And this is where like, if the market starts to develop these different patterns here, and what I mean by that is that if this market does have a bit of a drop to the downside and we do then bounce and we start to get something like this going on and then we break out like that, it's going to be a big move. This is going to be a huge move from here. Let me see if I can do this. What is that there? So that's what I see there, guys. Again, I wouldn't, again, there's so much bullishness around these markets here that we can get the short-term freakouts. Just, if you're long these markets, just understand the short-term volatility that can happen within your positions. I'm long the market right now, right? But everything is weighing still to a very big move. I'm thinking more the end of the year, where we're going to be at the end of the year. Now, the path to now to the end of the year, I see a 9,000 S&P by the end of the year. I could be wrong, by the way. It might only get to 8,000. The path to getting there is I'm not sure. But if I know that if I'm just giving myself time, then I'm okay with that. Like, I'll give you an example here, right? And this is where my best trading is getting involved with this stuff and being okay with some short-term freakouts, the market going against me a little bit, that's still okay, right, as a trading perspective. But look at this very big bull market. Even if we did get a bit of a drop to the downside, even if I took let me take off all the funky dunky trend lines, and this is a big thing here. Look at this here. Right, we had a nice move, hey, up and down and up and down and up again and down and up again and up, and that's the path of destiny where it is right now. It's like, this time's different, John. Like I would not want to be short this market right now. Which I'm not. I'm long. Now, this is not for individual stocks. Is a lot of individual stocks that are getting crushed, right? So, for example, Adobe. Netflix is one as well too. Netflix had a bit of a bounce, but look at Netflix is down. So just because the indices are doing something doesn't mean all the stocks are doing something, right? Just keep that in mind. What I'm talking about is the S&P 500. I'm not talking about Microsoft because Microsoft is different to the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones. Just look at the chart here, right? Look at the chart here. So AI bubble, the AI stocks, that was once again, and this is the pendulum, right? That's the whole pendulum of the markets. When markets start to become, oh, it's the AI stocks, it's the 7 stocks. You should own the 7 stocks, the 7 stocks, the 7 stocks, the AI boom. Well, I need to be in the AI stocks. I need to have an AI stock. I need to buy AI stock. Oh, it's the 7 stocks that are dragging the stock market up. Poof. And then the pendulum swings the other way. That's where it's hard, right? Because where's your pendulum of the market you're trading? I tell you right now, I told you right now, I know where my pendulum is right down the bottom here on TMF. Oh, you're an idiot, John. That's too risky. Oh my goodness, inflation's gonna go to the moon. They're gonna raise rates. Oh my goodness. Oh, I know where there's a lot of hate around the bond market still. TMF, TLT, right? Oh, that sort of stuff. But guess what's going to happen? Just like every market, there's a pendulum. And it always goes back the other way. They go from, oh my goodness, this is going to the moon. Bitcoin, 123,000. 250,000. $1 million. That's going to the moon. Oh my goodness, here we go. It just keeps going up. Woof. And it goes back the other way. And it starts to sell off. And it starts to have a bit more sell off. And then it goes back the other way. When then now we're starting to become to, like I believe we're not even at the bottom yet on Bitcoin because I think there's still a lot of hope, like maybe, right? I'm just utilizing Bitcoin, but I'm trying to share with you like the whole example around what's going on in the market right now, right? Once we understand this, guys, the playbook is easy. I'm just telling you how the playbook is. This is the playbook of the markets. If we're looking for more positions, now this is not short-term trading. You feel like, oh, I got in today and it went against me this week. Stop. Don't put them together, right? If you're looking for short-term trading, you need to use pattern recognition. Find the pattern that you trade. That's that. What I'm talking about here is more like position, like S&P. I'm in the S&P and I'm going to give it 6 months. Not, it went against me this week. Like, you just know, right? And again, I'm going to repeat myself. If you are short-term focused right now, you are ripping your account apart. And your soul and your stress and your health, especially if you're day trading right now. If you are day trading, even trying to short-term predict what's going to happen in the next couple of days, even short-term predict this week, right? You, especially in this environment, you are getting destroyed. That's where I love being long the stock market, and I have been now for a while. I'll bring this one up here. For me personally, when the market came down here, I bought call options here. I'm still long the call options. I have in the money call options here, and I think they're up about 20% still right now. So I'm still making profit of my call back here. Now, what was happening back here? That's why I bought call options there, right? So I'm teaching you guys the playbook of these markets, right? Now, I don't always get it right. No one gets it right 100%. That's why we have a playbook and then we have risk management. But most of the time, these things do play out. We just need time. Now, unfortunately, some of you guys, I've waited a whole month, John. Oh my goodness. It feels like 50 years. I'm here to make money today. Come on. And then suddenly you go do some stupid shit in the market and you blow your account up. And you wish you just stood still and not trade. Because there's a time for trading and time for being patient. Right? And what did I say here? Let me bring this up to here, right? And what do I say here? This is where I learned from WD Gann here, right? I learned this from WD Gann about the price and time phases here, right? These are the price and time phases about WD Gann. This is a big thing that I've actually learned. So right now is not a time to be like, getting, it's going up. It's going up. Stop. You got to lose yourself right now. Don't trade. Go away for 2 weeks. Let this thing sort itself out. This crazy volatility is ripping you apart right now. Stop trading. Right? This is not the market, especially for you guys that are hyper emotional. For you guys that have been lucky these last couple of years with the big bull market that we've experienced, with the AI stocks and the crypto that was before and the big bull market in the stock market. The market's changed right now. Let's see who is a real professional around these markets, who's got a good handle on their risk, who's not loading up too much. Because the lucky who are riding the big bull market, they're not so lucky anymore, right? Because you understand the different phases we're actually in right now, right? There's different phases these markets goes in. And right now where we are at, we're in what's called a time phase. Here. There's a different phase of these markets going, right? Time phase is where most traders get destroyed. Now, a price phase is when the market's moving here. And the price phase is what? In this environment, disciplined traders get rewarded and even average traders look like geniuses. Time phase. We're in a time phase now. Again, I learned all this from WD Gann. And over the last 20 years, there's a time for me to start to be more aggressive in my positions. And there's a time to say, oh, just give yourself a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months. Let this market sort itself out. And then start to be a bit more aggressive in wanting to get involved with it. Right now is not that time. What did I do all through February? Zero. I'm in positions. I'm in 3 trades right now, but I stood back and I let those trades sort themselves out. A time phase where most traders get destroyed. This is when the price phase ends and the time phase begins. This is where the real damage happens. A time phase is a consolidation period. What are we doing right now in the stock market? Especially the NASDAQ, right? The NASDAQ is definitely like, look at this here. Right? Look at this. Consolidation. It is not moving. It's called a time phase. This is where when you recognize you're in one of these phases, you do nothing. Is it going to break down? Is it going to break up? Big crash come. Big boom. We don't know. But your job is not to be so active right now. Sit back. Keep your emotions in control. Keep your confidence a bit high. Keep your bank account settled. So when this period ends, and it will end soon, and we start to get some good moves, then start to look for some periods. But people are trying to, I'll tell you right now, again, day trading right now, and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about right now, right? You guys that have been short-term trading this market, you guys at the end, your account right now is a big fat red in it right now. Where's my trading been? In January, I had 2 closed trades, a 300% or 330%. I'm in 3 trades right now, and I got into nothing new in I'm pretty sure, in February. 0 trading. Why? Because we're in that period right now. But I know come probably March, especially into April, this thing's going to sort itself out. We're going to start the trend again, and boom, I'm back into it again and riding that momentum move. Right now, it's getting chewed up big time. Right? And this is when the real damage happens. A time phase here is a consolidation period. The market isn't going anywhere in particular. It's building energy. Whenever we get these periods here, it's called building energy. Now, I talked about at the start of this video here, how we can start to look for different Gann rotations and different Gann cycles here. Check this out here. So I'm telling you right now, guys, once you start to understand this stuff, you guys can do so well. Look at this here. So I did this here, right? And let me just take you off the screen. This one right here, right? The Gann playbook here. This Gann playbook right now, and this Gann playbook here, right? The 2026 sector rotation playbook. How to use Gann cycles to find the next leader. How do you think that I called the XLE breakout just recently when no one was focused on it? Or XOM? Why? Using Gann cycles. All that simply means is, I'll get to that. I'll get to that in just a minute. Right? So let's check this out here. So let's go back to this chart here, right? So we're in what's one of these energy building phases here. Let's go back to here. It's building energy. It's rotating and resetting. So when we're in these rotating and resetting phases here, again, there's a lot of volatility here, right? A lot of volatility. These phases can last weeks or even months. And during that time, the market can be brutally volatile for the false breakouts, fake outs, and sharp moves in both directions, and ultimately lead nowhere. Now, if I go back to here for a bit, and I go down to here, right? So this is the article that I actually here, right? A time phase can last even months. Look at this here. These phases can last even weeks or months. During that time phase, can market brittle volatile, full of false breakouts, fake outs, and sharp moves in both directions, ultimately leading nowhere. What do you think we're doing right now? We're in one of these time phases. There's a time to be aggressive. There's a time to sit back and just don't do anything stupid right now, right? Sit back, don't trade. And then in end of March and April and May, when the market does start to move and you jump on that, you look like a genius now, right? Because you knew when to go in and you knew when to say, oh my goodness, just sit back, right? The problem, most traders don't recognize the shift. They still think right now that, yeah, they keep trading the same way they did in the price phase, expecting the next big move to follow through. It rarely does. Instead, they get chopped up, buying breakouts that reverse, selling breakdowns that recover. You guys have seen that so much in the last couple of months, right? It's going up. No, it's going back down. Oh, big drop down. Oh, it's reverse. And they're bleeding their accounts slowly through a series of small losses that compound into something devastating. This is where guys understanding the phase we're in right now and say, you know what, I'm going to really be patient right now and I'm going to really step back. I'm going to have to step back and not be aggressive or take many opportunities, if any new opportunities at all, for the next month or two. But if I can do that, I'm going to have a good year this year. And then we go back to here, right? So that's all it is. So the market's on a big path of where we're going right now. And this is the same for the Russell, right? There we go. The Russell, I'm very bullish the Russell. Russell's probably going to head up towards the 3,000 level up here. Probably even up to the top of the channel here. Looking really, 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 really bullish here. Okay. So everything's still very bullish here. And obviously the title of this video is about, what's going to come. But I wanted to not just say, oh, well, yeah, we can get a drop here, but it's okay, we're going to go up. I want to explain something to you so you can understand how do we get involved with these markets here, right? And how do we trade this market in a way where we understand these markets here? Because a lot of the times our thoughts around these markets is wrong. Especially, there's so many people out there that are into these markets that they think a fundamental is going to affect the market. Oh my goodness, we're at war right now. That's it. The big crash is going to start 50% down in one day. Like they go down this rabbit hole. But they don't even know how the market works. Whatever you think is going to happen in the market. So if you think logically, oh my goodness, we're going to war, the market's going to tank. That's it. The market's big crash is going to come, 50% crash. We're going to war, Iran, bombings. That's it. It's all bad. Guess what's going to happen? The opposite. Because that's what happens most of the time. And now, again, it does take a bit of time for that to actually go down that path of understanding that thing there. And so one thing I definitely wanted to sort of go down here and go down with this level here is, and then I'm going to get to there's some questions. If you guys got any questions, guys, put them in the chat box, then I'll be able to answer some questions for you. But here's the thing, guys, okay? Here's the thing. One thing I've learned about this level here, the 2026, the sector rotation playbook, how to use Gann cycles to find the next big moves. One of the best things that I do say is look for markets that haven't been doing much for a while. And when they haven't been doing much for a while, we're talking a good couple of years, 2-3 years, they're the markets that's likely to start to make its play, right? The sector rotation. Where's the sector rotation happening? So if we think about this here for a perspective of where's the next puck going, right? And what's been happening now. So if I bring this up to here, let me actually bring on I'll bring on my TC2000 platform now. This one here. And I want to show you how this all works, okay? So one thing I've learned is that the cycles of Gann is about time. Time is when the market's doing nothing, right? But time is also energy in the markets. There's a big energy in the markets. So simply put, the way that the way that I see this here is this, okay? I want to do a few things. I want to share a few things here. Now let's look at this here. The sector rotation that I promised you guys about how to see this here is about when the market hasn't been doing much for a few years. So if I bring up the gold chart here, all right, this is the gold chart. Let me bring on the gold weekly chart here with nothing on here. What happened back here? Look at this here. What did gold do through all this time here? It did nothing, right? So all through this time here, it basically it just went sideways range bound from all this time here. See how this just went sideways here for 3 years. This here is the market that not many people are focused on, but there's a sector rotation going to happen in these markets. And then guess what ended up happening? Then we had what? After this sideways period for 3 years, the sector rotation starts to kick into those markets, and then away we go for gold. It was one of the reasons why, and if I actually bring on the one market that I was building a big position back in 2021, 2022, was GDXJ. Why? Look at this here. So back through here, let me bring this down here. Look at that there. Look at all this here. So if we're trying to see where the next big moves are going to come from, they come from the market not doing much for a while, and generally many years in a row. And then just like clockwork, those markets haven't been alive and active because we're all focused on Bitcoin or ruble or whatever markets. These markets that haven't been doing much for 3 years or more, they do start to come alive. Now, you'd never want to do short-term options trading around this. It's more like what's likely to come over the next couple of years, be involved with it, and therefore we can actually start to see, which I did, and my long-term investment account, I was very, very, very bullish back here, and I'm still in this right now. I've been an investor in GDXJ back here in 2021 and 2022. Now, initially, what was happening? You're an idiot, John. Look, it just keeps going down, right? Why'd you own in Bitcoin? This thing just keeps going down. Oh, you're getting crushed, John. And I was underwater for a couple of years on my investment account. But I saw where the puck was going. And so I invested in GDXJ. And I kept investing and kept investing and kept investing. Right? 2021, 2022, and 2023. Because I knew eventually we're going to get what? I knew where we were through here. This is what we're seeing through here. If I bring this down a little bit more, it was more like through there, right? We had a little bit of a breakout here and then a come back down. So that was a little bit of a short-term fake out, and then we came back down. But I knew eventually what? After this sideways period, we're likely to see the next really big move. And then, like clockwork, with time and patience, for you guys that are more of an investor opportunity, you want to get in the next big moves. And then guess what? Many years later, we're experiencing this here, and now you look like a legend. I have an investment portfolio where I was heavily investing 2021, 2022, 2023. The whole portfolio was GDXJ, gold, and silver. From an investment point of view, not options trading, right? Just buying it, and then because I saw this move coming. Now, how did I see this move? Now, I didn't know this. I didn't know it was going to be this big, by the way. I didn't know we're going to get this much of a move, but I knew we're going to get a breakout soon. And we're going to start. Right? Just like platinum. What did platinum do? Why did platinum have such a big move here? Look at this here. Notice platinum's doing nothing down the bottom here. And especially what? Especially for the last 3 years. Look at this here. For the last 3 years, doing nothing. What does that mean? There's probably going to be a rotation back soon. These markets that haven't been doing much for a while, when they're very quiet and they haven't been doing a lot, they're the markets we should be focused on for an investment point of view, right? For you guys that are just short-term traders, there's nothing to do with you guys, okay? But if you're looking to jump on those next big, where's the next rotation happening in what sector, so I can get involved with it. So when it happens, we can start with that. And then guess what? And then we make a big move from here. What did I recently call last year? I recently called what? Energy sector is the next market to make the breakout. Get ready for the breakout, right? And I used what? XLE. Why did I say XLE? What is this here? A couple of years of nothing going on for a while. Same thing. See, it's all the same pattern, right? It's all the same thing, even from an actual, and even XOM. Look at XOM. Nothing here for all this time. So nothing here for many years. Sideways. This is what I call that. This sideways here is GAN, All right, Gann is that's the sideways, that's the pattern. We're trying to identify these markets that's likely to make the next big move. And if we, and again, this is more for an investment point of view, and this is where like trying to identify these opportunities are amazing, because I can have with my investment account, I can have these portions of my investment account, and here, like a 5% here, a 5% there, and these things start to move, and my whole portfolio can be up, even from a low point of view, I could be up 10, 20% for the year, but from these 5% positions or whatever, it's just absolutely just amazing. And so this is how we actually see the sector rotation happening right now and where everything is right now. And that's where, for me personally, I was calling XLE and XOM last year for you guys that follow me. Now you know what I was looking at. I'm giving you the playbook. No, you don't have to invest in you don't have to invest in my expensive coaching program, which is expensive, by the way. If you'd like to, getjohnshelp.com. That's an application there. But these are the markets that I do and I provide with my elite coaching program. Every day I'm sharing with them the next markets that's likely to come up. Why do you think I'm and that's happening now? Why do you think I was focused on that there? And then we see this here. So there's the markets that actually pop up through here. USO. What's going on with USO? It's the same pattern. What do you think is coming soon with USO? We're probably going to break out and go for a big move. USO, not oil. Don't mix them up. I see that a lot of, right? This USO chart looks nothing like the oil chart. But John, they're the same thing. No, they're not. It's like crazy, right? It's like, oh, USO, I'm going to go buy oil today, right? Look at this I'm looking at USO because it's got the sideways pattern here. Oil doesn't have the sideways pattern for the last 5 years. It has more like a downtrending, descending triangle pattern. And there's so many markets out here. Once you can understand now, for you guys that are actually watching, and I purposely left this to the end of this session here. Now you understand, if you've actually listened to what I've just said there, I've given you literally a roadmap for what? How to find the next sector rotation that's happening in the markets. Where are those markets? I'm giving you the roadmap here. I'm giving you the playbook here. And that's where, if you understand the next sector rotation, you understand where things are headed right now. Right? And that's where what? This is where look at this here. TMF breakout. This is TMF a while ago. Right? Let me bring this down to here. Where was this screenshot? Let me zoom right in here. So I did this at what? What was the price here? 87.54. This is the TMF chart here. And I did this chart. This is down here, 87.54. Before the breakout, this was the TMF. And I said, here we go, big breakout coming. I wonder what actually happened with TMF. Oh, that was the TOT, sorry. I wonder what happened with that. Let's go look at TOT. Where are we at right now? So that was there. Was that 87? Right down the bottom here. That chart was down the bottom there. Right down there. 87.54, around there. This here is when I put that screenshot up there. And now look what's happening. So there's so many amazing opportunities that are coming down the path here. So many amazing opportunities that are happening. And all we have to do is just be ready for it. And we can take advantage of it all. All right, guys, if you guys got any questions, just let me know. I'll be back in a minute. Toilet break, and then I'll get to some questions. Alrighty. Ooh. Oh, geez. Look at that. What's up, fellas? Clean haircut, sir. Really? I wonder if I turn the light on, would that be better? Is that any much better? Maybe. I don't know. Ooh. What's the time? Okay. Do. Hey, all learners. John Thrifty in the house. MKO says, how far will the S&P drop tomorrow because of the Iran? So you're automatically thinking the market's going to drop because of the Iran war. You're presupposing that that's going to happen tomorrow. What if it doesn't? So you're automatically you're already looking for that. Yeah, that in the markets there. I wouldn't be looking for it. I actually wouldn't be too surprised if the market was up tomorrow. Because most people are probably thinking the same thing as you, MKO. They're probably thinking the market's going to be, there's going to be a big drop tomorrow because of the roll and so on and so forth. If you guys have actually studied this, go back and look at this here. Go back and look at when the major wars have started and what happened to the stock market. It went up. When major wars have started in the past, look at the last 20, 30 years. Right. And when the wars have actually started, that's actually been very bullish for the market. So it's makes no sense to people that are trying to, oh, well, there's Iran and the market's going to drop because of Iran. That's what they think, right? This is where like a lot of traders think this. It sounds logical, like, oh, it's so bad, it's going to crash the markets. And then away we go, right? It hasn't affected Bitcoin at all, or even Ethereum. I'm just looking at these short-term charts here on Bitcoin and Ethereum right now, and it hasn't affected those. So I guess if there was something to be worried about, that would be affected. That would be affected. Depending on which market index, right? I wouldn't try to presuppose anything right now. All I would say is that even if we do get a short-term sell-off, it's gone back up again. Well, I don't know that for sure, but I'm long the market myself. So I wouldn't presuppose anything, right? Remember, if you're thinking something about, and there's a lot of thoughts around the Iran war right now. Oh my goodness, it's going to crash the market. And if the market does start to sell off, guess what's going to happen real quick? Let me show you this here. You know the good old fear and greed index? This is the fear and greed index here. This thing has got, right now we're in fear. Ha, yeah. Right now we're in fear. A little oil must be up. A little drop in the markets, this thing's going to be pinging extreme fear. And then again, if we do get a drop, it's not going to be much in the markets. It's going to be very short-lived. Again, it's a do or die situation here right now with the markets. I wonder if this is going to play out. Look, happy faces. Look at this here. Every time we've had a little bit of a drop here, it's been buying opportunities. Why do you think this time is different? if we did get a bit of a drop down the bottom here, say we got down to 6,500, 6,000, which I believe that's all we're going to get down to. Guess what that means? Smiley face. It's buying time. Oh, John, that's it. It's all over. The top's in. And then people short the market, and then the market goes back up again. And because the overall trend is still up. Big trends. Look at this here. Big trends. Up and down. And up and down. And up. If we do go down, and then back up again. And then we go to 9,000. Pretty simple. Correction starts now, you think? Maybe. What we want to see here is this, right? So we're at a do or die situation. This is the level here. This is clearly the level here that I'm focused on. This level right here, right? This is the level we want to check out. We're at do or die right now. It happens this week, which is the title of this live stream, right? What happens here? If we break down tomorrow, which I'm actually thinking we will. Now, again, I could be completely wrong. So I'm definitely not going to trade that. If we do break down below here tomorrow, then get ready for a 5-7% correction in the markets. And that's all she wrote. And then back up again. If we don't, and there's a big update tomorrow, because most people were expecting the crash, and then there's a really big update tomorrow, and we get something like this going on. For some reason, we hold, we come down to here, we come back up here, we get something like that going on. Then we start to make a move to the upside. Then the melt up starts, and then and I've always said once we get above 7,000, we haven't got there yet, so that's not the trigger. Once we do, then the trigger's in place. BC, gold, etc. pump, but US industry drop. Really? It sounds logical, doesn't it? Abdul. That sounds logical, doesn't it? Now, I'm not sure about Bitcoin. I'm not sure how you factor in Bitcoin in there. Bitcoin's been getting hammered. So, but it makes sense to think, oh, people are fearful. They're going to buy gold and they're going to short and then the equity market is going to go down. That sounds logical, doesn't it? Probably the opposite's going to happen. But again, like I wouldn't be too surprised to see actually a bit of a correction here tomorrow. But if we don't, it's a do or die situation right now. Meaning that we're going to get an answer here. Are we eventually going to start to see a strong sell off or not? If we don't, and if we have a nice strong up move in the next couple of days, get ready for a big up move in the equity market from here. Just wait, be patient, and see where the big money moves. Well, the big money is already moving. And if we do get a drop, the big money is going to buy the crap out of it. So, and as for a pump in Bitcoin, I'm not sure where we're getting that from because Bitcoin is just absolutely just getting destroyed right now. I would not want to be tried along this market. We're probably going to get down the bottom here somewhere. There's probably another big drop coming soon out of Bitcoin. Look at it here, just boom, 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 down, 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 down. Crushed. Ethereum. Boom, 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 down, down, down. Ethereum's actually getting very close to its low level there. That's that level through there somewhere. So yeah, Bitcoin. But I believe we're getting towards the end though of the Bitcoin and the Ethereum drop. But there's so much pain happening in these markets. In all markets. Gold and silver short-term pain just recently. Bitcoin. Lots of pain in the crypto market. Stock market. People that are short-term trading the stock market are getting absolutely just destroyed. It's a year of pain. It's a year of pain for a lot of people. And those who are lucky in the last couple of years and those big bull moves, like the Bitcoin, right? These big bull moves for the last couple of years. It's not so easy now. Big bull markets are easy to make money from. The true professional can trade when we're going through these periods. Got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You better count your money when you're sitting at the table. Yeah, all that sort of stuff. So it's going to be really interesting, guys. It's going to be really interesting to see. We just got to see when market opens, lol. I believe that doesn't mean anything really. Again, just short term. Let's just say, for example, it does open and we go down tomorrow, and then we go down the next day, and we go down 5% this week. Cool. That's probably going to be a buying opportunity. But as for interest rates, this is the 2-year rate. This is the 2-year rate here. We're starting to drop down now. So 2-year rates are going to start to get hammered. We're already starting to see this here, which means the Fed is probably going to start to drop rates as well. Because it seems to be anyway. Look at this here rolling over. It seems to be that the Fed sort of follows the 2-year. That's what I heard anyway. But yeah, so we're probably going to have lower rates coming. We didn't do much for a while through here for the 2-year, but now we're starting to break down, as you can see. So I'm expecting another big drop on the downside on the 2-year. 30-year, as I talked about before, I'm expecting a rollover on the 30-year, and the 30 years, look at the 30-year, just got absolutely just crushed. And the interesting thing is, as we're going up through here, I started saying late last year, I'm getting ready for a rollover in the interest rates. Hence my position in TMF. Man, the flack and comment section. You're an idiot, John. The inflation's here. The inflation's going up. They're going to raise interest rates. And TMF and that thing, I'm like, no, we're getting ready for a drop. Well, I knew by the way that I read the market, the way that I read these charts and what was happening on these markets, I knew there was a massive probability that we're going to roll over and going to start to see a drop to the downside. Now, here's where it gets really tricky, right? I made that call. I didn't know how and when. I just knew it was likely to happen. Meaning I didn't know like when we're going to get this drop to the downside. I didn't know it was going to start here. That's why back in November, what did I do in November? November last year, I bought the TMF because I wasn't trying to time it. I just knew we're likely to go there over the next 3 to 6 months. And when it happens, I'm in it. I'm going to make some money. Simples. And then suddenly, as we know, we're here. We clustered for a while, and then we actually been getting dropped to the downside. Even the 10-year, look at the 10-year. Same thing. So this is one of the reasons why I was screaming last year, get ready for rollover and rates, dropping rates, dropping rates, dropping rates, dropping rates. But because the silver and gold noise was so loud, so many people were focused on that. I'm like, no, that's done. Let's go find opportunities somewhere else. There's many more opportunities out there. The silver and gold game is done. Meaning we already had big moves in those markets. Let's go focus on new opportunities, not chase the market that's made an explosive move for 2 years. And so my job, again, this is the reason why I coach and I run a coaching program is because I'm teaching people how to look for those new opportunities. Why did I talk about XLE last year? And look what happened with XLE. And so for me, I am always looking for where's the next puck to move? What is that thing? And that's where for me, as a trader and even investor, I need to be looking for these new opportunities, not the market that's already made big moves. It's already made a big move. If I'm not in it, I missed out. Cool. Let's go find something else. And man, the flack that I got as we're going through here, because again, in November last year, that's when I went long on the TMF. The positions in the TMF here were, I knew John got it wrong. John, you got it wrong. John, you got it wrong. Yeah, John's been long TMF for 3 months and he's been underwater for 3 months. Like this sort of market commentary from the good old comment section. From user ABC123. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Bumblebee, right? Your handle name. And that's all it is, guys, right? Like, again, I don't always get it right. But a lot of the times I know what's likely to come down the road. I just don't know how this is going to form. I'm very confident in where things are going. I just don't know when that's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like I knew TMF was going to start to pick up in TLT and the rates were going to come down last year. I just saw it. But I didn't know when. Was it going to be in December? We're going to be in January? Is it going to be February? Like when is this thing going to really start to crack? And so my job is like, I don't know. I'm just going to be in it. And then when it happens, I'm going to make money. Right? And then that's how now we're starting to make the move from here. And that's all it is, guys, right? That's all it is. I'm just looking for the next opportunities. And guess what? As this thing happens for the next 6 months, there's going to be new sectors, new things. Maybe it's the financial sector. Maybe it's a commodity market. Maybe it's something else that now is the next opportunity, right? For me, as a trader and as a coach, I'm always helping people identify where's those next opportunities to come from. And why I've been saying what? What have I been saying? Hey, where is that? Where are you? Post. Here. And that's why I've been saying here. Oh, let's bring it down to here. My number one greatest trade for 2026 is TMF. And that's why, and I still say, this is the same for the stock market now, right? Why? Because TMF, where I got in TMF down here, I got in TMF right here. Man, what a bad, oh, John's underwater. Okay. Oh, I'm underwater right now for a couple months. Okay, cool. Come back to me in 6 months when I'm making a lot of money. Oh, John, you know, the rates are going to keep, TMF is going to keep going down. You know that. Like the bond's going to keep going down and rates are going to keep going back up. You know that, John. Like you're underwater. He's been underwater for 3 months. Right? But they're not seeing where it's going. They're only seeing what's happening right now, not where it's going or where it's likely to go. I can see where things are likely to go. Now, not all the time. I don't always make money from these things. I get it right and I get it wrong. Just I'm very fortunate that lately that a lot of my calls have actually been right. Meaning I was expecting a big crash in the silver and gold. Now we got that. I'm actually expecting another big move out of silver and gold right now because the noise has just been sucked right out of it. So we're probably going to have another big leg to the upside. But I'm not chasing new opportunities in the metals and miners because we've been going up for 2 years. There's new opportunities around all the other markets out there. So while this was happening, people focused on, oh, it's gone down for 3 months. Okay, cool. Where are we going to be 6 months from now? Focus on that. And my job was, what I was thinking about is we're going to be up here somewhere over the next 6, 12 months. I don't know. That's why an investment opportunity, not without even options, which I have both, I have an investment and options, was down through there. So I'm very confident in these things happening. And the bottom line is I make money from this stuff. Most people who are watching my YouTube videos are not making any money. You're blowing up your crown. So it's like, if you follow my calls, I may be wrong short term, but you're forgetting the picture of these things. An investment is not trying to time something. I wasn't trying to time TMF. I wasn't saying it's going to start right now today and it's going to go up. You're missing the picture. Because 1 year from now, TMF starts to do that. I'm making a fortune, making 100, maybe 200, maybe at least 100% return on my investment. Options are up to 300-400% return. And the next 12 months from now, I've made a lot of money. That's that story, right? That's the story of that trade there. It's not, it's gone against me. What's going on, right? It's where's it going? And then be okay being patient. And that's what these opportunities are about. The reason why I'm saying that is because if the S&P 500 does have the freak out here, guess what? Oh, I told you John was wrong. John, I told you the meltdown is not going to happen. John, you're an idiot. John, idiot. John, the crash is coming. John, don't you see it? You don't understand? Just like I got with all my TMF position. And then what happens is then people come out of the woodworks, and then that happens. And then 12 months from now, it's up here racing towards the 8,000 level. And all you were focused on was this short-term little drop here. Now, that's what the market's been doing this entire time, by the way. This entire 5 years, people have been trying to focus on trying to get these bits here and that little bit there. What are you doing? If you short the market now, it's not the major top in the market. But John, this time's different. Okay, cool. That means you're trading something that doesn't happen that often, right? It's a different time. Right. So your trading approach is trading on something that doesn't happen that often. Because this time's different. That means most of the time it doesn't actually work out, right? That's all it is, guys. That's all it is. I'm literally teaching you how I'm playing, how I'm trading these markets, and how by the end of this year, I'm going to make a fortune from these markets, but the way that I'm getting involved with these markets. Now, these are these opportunities, but then I also have my trading opportunities when I'm in them for a couple of months. I'm in them for 1 to 2 months. I'm more of a options trading approach. And then away we go from there. You guys can do so well. If you know what to look for. Let me do this here. It's getting hot in here. And that's where all my calls, these are my calls this year. And you guys know this, right? You guys have been following me now for a while. You know, I was calling for the silver crash and we got that. Again, now we had that and the air's been sucked out of it. We're probably going to make another really big move, another really strong move out of the metals and miners. TMF defined the bottom. Again, I talked about that in the last quarter of last year and he got flack for it for the first 3 months. Now people are starting to slowly maybe agree with me. Rates to drop. I talked about that last year. Again, I got flack from it, but it's already started. Once again, go look at the rates. Even the 10-year. Dude, oh, wrong one. Let's do this here. Bang. And that's the 10-year for you. XLE, XOM breakout. So far, 5 things that I've talked about here. We did get the strong movement on the crash. TMF is finding a bottom. We're getting a strong rally. Rates to drop. We have got that actually started a few weeks ago, and we're getting absolutely just demolished right now in the rates. XLE, XOM strong breakout. Get ready for it. I talked about that last year. That's happening right now. And S&P rally to 9,000. So the 5 major things that I've actually called here, it's actually happening. It's already happening. And again, like the beauty thing about YouTube, especially if you guys have been following me now for the last 3-6 months, especially the last 3 months of last year, if you guys are following me, you know I started talking about this sort of stuff. TMF, baby! right? And the energy sector, guys, the energy sector. And then what ends up happening? This is the energy sector. Guys, energy sector. Energy sector. Right, down here. Guys, energy sector. Especially XOM, right? Energy sector and XOM. Look at that thing go. So trading is all about finding where's the next opportunity, not try to chase the market that's already been really big moves. Where's those pockets of opportunities? Right? Last year for me, I was all over platinum. Why? Because look at this. Platinum for me down the bottom here was that next opportunity. So in the middle of last year, I was guiding my elite group that I'm with every day about, guys, platinum is the market to make the next big move. Let's start to hone down on that because it's coming soon. It broke out. I had an option trade. And just even the very first option trade, I made 250% return on it. And that was just that move there. I didn't capture the entire move, but I still made a very nice trade out of it. So it's having a playbook of, and that's, again, this is the reason why I do coach, because I help people see where's the next opportunities coming from. And for you guys that are on YouTube for free, you got even not investing my coaching, you've seen what I've done here and see what I do here. This is why I do really well overall. Not to say all my calls are perfect, no. But I'm very, very, very high win-loss ratio on my calls, and especially the ones that even I've done on YouTube. Initially, it doesn't look like that, does it? Initially, TMF was like, oh, John, you got that wrong. It's been going down for 3 months. John, the rates are still going up. It's going up, John. You got that wrong. Initially, it looks like I got it wrong. Ah, you little bumblebee, eh? Come back to me in a few months and see what's going on. And they don't. They go into the corner like a little coward. That's where stock market rally, same thing. The stock market drops here this week. John, I told you the multi-up stock. And then the same noises. Cool. Come back to me in 6 months from now and show me where the S&P is. Well above 7,000, probably on our way to 8,000, right? Around there. And maybe, if, and all I see is by the end of this year, we see a 9,000. How that's going to happen, I don't know. Depending on when it actually breaks out. And this is where big money's made, right? This is where the big money's made. And maybe I can start to use some of this big money to buy an actual light so you can see my face. I really spend little time trying to set up an actual studio and professional live stream stuff. And all my focus is on the markets and actually doing well. It's like, anyway, I think that's all that matters to you guys. So there we go, guys. There we go. There's a lot of money to be made from these opportunities. If you can start to see this here, and every single one of these calls can do really well from you. Not if you're this guy here. Day trading will destroy you. Let's go. Before I look at that, let me go through and let's have a look at some of the indices here. Okay, show big picture. Yeah, indices are there. S&P. the strongest indice out of all the indices is the Russell. The Russell could be presenting an amazing buying opportunity soon. Look at that, hey? Look how strong that is. Look how strong that bull market is. Just really strong. If we start to break up from here, get ready for. If we start to break up above here, we start to get above 27. Get ready for man, a 315, 320 IWM. Potentially. Of course, there's risk to everything, so make sure you protect yourself. I'm not in it yet by myself, but there might be something coming up there soon, which is quite awesome. King Russell, baby. King Russell. King Russell, baby. Oh, you're not even seeing my screen. Why are you not sharing your screen, Mr. Howe? All right, let's go back to here. Mr. Howe, share your screen. Thanks. Superlaz. I didn't even recognize that. I was so entrenched in the market. Anyway, that's the S&P. This is the NASDAQ, and this is the Russell chart here. What I was mentioning was that we're in a big breakout now. And if I go back to this chart here, this is a very big, strong, beautiful upward trend. If the Russell does start to hold here and start to break up above 270, let me bring on everything through there, then that there could trigger a very strong move out of the Russell towards the 315 level, which is my ultimate target up through here, which is actually two target levels. A target off the channel. You got a bit of a channel here in place. And it's called a channel projected target. So you measure from the high to the low of the channel when you find one. Then you project that up. And then that's when you start to get the area of where it could actually run to once it starts the oval area where it's likely to run to. Within the trend in there. Then the second one there is this big picture one here. So this big picture weekly chart here, this is the big picture weekly chart. As you can see, this big channel it's been in. So we have a rough channel, that whole area up through there around the 310 level, possibly. 300 would be conservative. If you're looking at a conservative number, is where it's likely to go to. So if we go back to here and I bring on, say, this level here, then actually I'll go back to 6 month view. So let me zoom right in now. If we do get a breakup, then we could possibly see that thing start to make a very, very strong move. It's been nicely trending, but it hasn't been making any strong moves. I believe we're on the cusp of seeing that real big breakout. This is just another market, guys, right? This is just another market I'm focused on. As you can see, I'm across all markets. I'm looking at all these markets: commodities, gold, silver, cryptos, interest rates, the energy sector. I'm looking at all the other different sectors. Financial sector, all these different sectors. I'm keeping an eye on all the time. Where's that next market to make a pop? Because if I can get involved with that before it pops, and then it pops, I make a lot of money. That's why I talked about the energy sector last year. I'm getting in before the pop. I just don't know when it's going to pop. I need to be patient, though. If I can be patient and then it pops, whoo! Right? So that's what that sort of trading is all about, guys. You guys can do so well. You really, really, really can. You just got to understand what I'm teaching you guys here is I'm trying to teach you the lay of the land of how these markets, or actually the lay of the land of how these markets actually work when it comes to this sort of stuff that I'm teaching here. And once again, what my job is as a trader and an investor is my job is to always look for the markets that's likely to start the next big move. If gold, which it has been doing this for a while. Actually, if this is gold, yes, gold is on the move. I'm actually seeing right now, short term, we actually could get another move to the upside now. But gold has already made a big move, right? What I'm looking for is I'm looking for opportunities down here where this market hasn't been doing much. This is nothing much here. I want to get involved down here and then ride the big move. I don't want the big move to happen and then try to jump on the big move. My job is to look for these markets down here and then get that next wave. That's called smart trading and investing. And I'm not going down the rabbit hole of, whoa, John, this time's different and the great reset, so I'm going to buy gold. It's like, my job is to look for these opportunities all the time. And by the way, gold itself, this GLD chart, is getting towards the end of this bull market. What I mean by that is that, yes, we could have one more push to the upside, but if we do get, this is the GLD chart here, by the way. If we do get a big move to the upside up here, if we get to like the 6,000 level or the 600 level up here, this is the last move in this very big bull market. So my job is not to chase the gold and silver anymore for new opportunities. It's had a very big move. If I wasn't invested, which I was investing back, 3 years ago, again, my opportunity, my job as a trader, I need to look for new opportunities. Not married to one. The great resets come, John. The debt bubble's going to explode. Let's buy gold. Okay, and what about these other markets out there? There's all these other opportunities we can focus on. I don't give a rat's ass about any of these markets. They don't care about me. The reason I'm saying that is I'm never married to one position. Oh, I'm a gold. Who cares? What about all these other markets out there? There's all these other different sectors and different markets. If you know what to look for, that is. And I've been teaching you that in this live stream today. If you've watched it all the way through, well, you know exactly what to use it yourself now. It's exactly why silver actually had a big move as well too. It's all the same thing, guys. All the same thing. By the way, the big picture. This is what I see happening with the rates, by the way. Forget the 52 here. This is what I see happening long term with the rates, by the way. This is the lay of the land. I'm in the bond market now because I see the first leg down. But then, yes, when we have the down leg, then get ready for, yes, then the big rate move is going to come into the early 2030s and so on and so forth. And now we're going to start what? We're going to start this guy again. See how this is we went through this up phase for a while through there. Right. There we go through there. So we went through an up phase for a while with the rates, and then we went through a down phase for a while. Now we're going through here. Guess what's coming? Another upward swing. And we're going to start to see, again, depending on where we actually stop, maybe somewhere there. Maybe. I just see that's going to be the overall path. And then we're going to start to see rates continue up again. Up and then down. We went through a big up cycle for a while. Then we went through a big down cycle. So our current living standards and the way we've been seeing things and the world and the economy since the 80s is over. And a new environment is coming back into place. The rates are definitely telling you that. We're definitely going back into now much more. People worry about rates now. Rates are too high. Rates are too high. Wait till you see another 5 years from now. So much opportunity, guys. Just give me a sec, guys. Pee break. Alrighty, guys, I'm back now. For you guys that are watching anyway. I should set up my light. Anyway. Sure. Sure, Thrifty. Come on down, man. Come on down. Oh, look at the energy sector go. It's breaking out. I wish I could have seen that coming. Oh, my goodness. There was that guy on YouTube. Who was he? He was talking about it. And I didn't agree with him. Who was that guy? That guy was talking about it so much. Forget his name. Again, guys, I don't always get it right. But if you can have a good win-loss ratio with these calls, and these calls make big moves over the course of a 6 to 12-month period overall, that's called you making profit. That's called you being part of the few percent who actually make a profit. Because you do know, and I hope you realize this, 90% of people that are on YouTube right now, and 90% of you guys that are watching this video right now are losing money. And you're getting destroyed this year. You know that. My hope is through these live streams is to help you with some of the education and understandings around these markets to get an understanding of the big picture so we can get involved with it. That's the idea of these live streams, is to teach you the proper thinking and how to approach it, how to approach these markets and the patterns and the setups, and away we go. That's all. It's not about me being right or wrong. It's just to give you patterns that, if I can teach you a pattern that's likely to make a big move, if I can teach you a pattern, which I have today, that's likely to make a big move, guess what? If you're 50-50 right, and the 50-50, if you took 10 of those trades and 50 of them made a really big move and 50 didn't, that's called you having a successful trading career for the rest of your life. Do that, even with a horrible win-loss ratio, you're still going to make some good profits. Because if we can have big profits and small losses and have a horrible win-loss ratio, which I do sometimes, I suck, guess what? You win at the game of trading, right? Okay, cool. Is that PILL? Cool. Is that a stock, Thrifty? Let me go. Damn, man, look at that, eh? Talk about a strong breakout, eh? Damn. I was really confident we're going to break out. I didn't expect it to be that strong. But look at it go. It's like, poof. Let's go. PILL. What is your thoughts on this one, Thrifty? I don't really have any thoughts on this one myself. I'm just trying to see what I can see from here. We're probably going to run into a bit of trouble up there, maybe. Okay, cool. For me anyway, Thrifty, like I don't see anything here that's appealing, not even for a trading opportunity for me. When it comes to my trading systems that I trade, it doesn't meet any of my trading rules for an actual trading setup. Um, yeah, so it just doesn't it doesn't mean an actual trading setup for me. So I have my trading rules when I'm trading my trading setups. There's nothing there to say that for me there yet. Mm. So yeah, for me, maybe for you, man, you might be looking at something different than the way that I trade the market. It looks like it will melt up since the market is always forward looking. Backstage tattoos. Maybe. I think the end of the story, I think the end of the story is that, yes, meaning the melt up. Maybe initially, maybe this Iran stuff is going to initially freak out the market and then we go down. We'll see what actually happens. It hasn't done much to the crypto market, so if there was, there possibly would have been a bit of a selling in the crypto market, bit of a freak out in the crypto market, but either way, I wouldn't want to be short this market, which I'm not. Yeah. See, gold and silver are definitely starting to pick back up again, aren't they? I see another move coming in gold and silver now. That flush has been done. Let me actually go to the daily charts now. Actually, I'll go to this here. Yeah, it looks like the flush has been done. That's all it was, wasn't it? We just got too overheated. We had the big flush down. We're holding here now, and now we're picking back up again. So we're probably going to make another new high now out of silver. The noise in the metals has definitely gone quiet. You're not hearing that exuberant now. So we're probably going to make another move to the upside, and we're still in a very strong upward trend. All this drop here was just to come back down to get some equilibrium in the market. So let me bring this up to here. Let's bring on the last 6 months with the data. Let's bring on the SLV price. Same, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, so that same thing there. And then also with gold as well too. Gold, very nice. The thing with gold is gold's been in a beautiful upward trend. Look how beautiful this is, even the last 6 months. So this drop here with gold was just a nice little correction out of gold, but it's still in a very big, beautiful upward trend. And that's all she wrote. Again, that's the reason why I did short silver, or I shorted the SLV, but I shorted the SLV up here when it just got too far overheaded. And then as soon as we got the drop down here, literally on this day right here, on the actual big drop, that's when I sold out of my options. I knew it was just going to be a very short-term move, and I didn't want to stay in it, that long. And I'm really happy the way that I traded that. Shorted up here because I just saw it just way too much. Got the freak out, and now we're actually starting to trend back up again. So probably another good strong link is going to come out of the metals there. This is the last 6 months here. Yeah, that's all it was for me. And then the GLD price. Let's go look at the GLD. same sort of thing. We got this beautiful, beautiful upward trend here. Just a beautiful, look at that there, beautiful upward trend there. From that low point there. $52 is still very strong, trending to the upside as well, as you can see. If I actually, let's go down to the actual gold price here. Very nice. Beautiful. Look at that. It's just all the way up in it. And look at this here. Whenever we look at this here, I use the 52. This is a 52 on the daily chart. As you can see, whenever we get too far away, it's just gone too far. We need to come back, right? And this is when you get these corrections. You get a drop here, a drop here, a drop here. You end up getting these drops in the market when we get too far away. That's why if you're looking for good opportunities, trade a bull market, yes, but wait for it to come back in the moving average. And then we get a bounce. And we come back to the moving average, we get a bounce. Right? When we're too far away from it, understand that you're probably going to have a bit of a correction, a bit of a short-term pullback, and then we continue. That's where with my trading system, I actually wait for the market to get to the moving average first. It's one of the rules anyway, before I get into the trade. Ray, my man. Ray, John, I bought gold listening to you, and since I was in and out trader, I opened another app, and after 2 months, 2,300 was 2,500. Then I bought more, up to 2,700 roughly 3 years ago. Oh, Ray. So you're talking back. So you must be talking back. You must be talking about back in like late 2023, early 2024, when I said gold's probably going to start a big move soon. Is that what you're talking about? Because I was really big about gold back then, because I saw a big move coming. Now, I didn't know it was going to be this big. No one knew how big it was going to be, but I did see a big move coming in gold. That's why I was talking about it back then. I'm pretty sure that's why you were talking. I'm pretty sure that's what you're saying. But that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Again, no one could have predicted it. Like I'm very confident in seeing where things are likely to go. I just don't know how and how far, right? So the energy sector is another one. This is the energy sector. I don't know where this thing's going to end. It's always it's the trade selection and then there's trade management, right? Trade selection and then trade management, or investment selection and then investment management, because they're both different things. So good job, man. Good job. Now, okay. Oh, Thrifty. I just saw your comment. Thrifty, you're talking about this one here, right? Okay, there's different things. Okay. So you're talking about my Ethereum trade that I took last year, right? I'm pretty sure. This one down the bottom here, when I actually went long with Ethereum down here in mid last year. You're probably talking about that. Yep. Not different pattern. Completely different pattern, man. Yeah, it's a different pattern. And by the way, all this was, which that was my trade right there. I made like, I don't know, 300 something percent on my options. Yeah, so it's a different type of pattern that I see anyway with my eye. I could be. It doesn't mean it's not going to go up. Like I don't know, and that's where when I'm not sure, then I don't get involved with that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's just Yeah, differences there. But that's all it was for me. Now this setup here was an actual textbook trading setup that I look for. This actually met my trading rules. And like most of them, they end up making a nice profit. It also happened back here as well too. By the way, notice the pattern. I always talk about my L-shaped trading pattern. There to there. Where the market goes up, then goes sideways, we're likely to go up again. And then this one, but this one was down the downside, right? Let me see. Down, sideways, we go down again. Very simple pattern. Okay. Now, Ray, I'm not sure if he's still on, Ray, or not right now. But your question was, now gold was my best investment at the time listening to you. Awesome. Awesome, man. And I like the way you coined it investment and not trade, because that's obviously what, yeah. Now you say on TMF, my question is, what stop loss do you recommend at this time? Ray, mate, because you're not part of my elite coaching program, I can't give you any, like, I just, yeah, you have to make it, you have to use that yourself, man. If you are in a trade right now, you have to come up with a plan. How you're managing it, if you're going to have a stop loss, where you're going to have a stop loss, like all that sort of stuff, you've got to come up with a plan, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's yeah. I have my plan around how I'm positioning myself with that and how I'm trading that. But look at that. But yeah, but I can't, because if you did get into it, you need to be able to get into it based off what you understand. And so therefore you need to have a plan around that situation there. So if you have profit targets, your amount of risk that you did yourself, all that sort of stuff is on you, man. I'm just here to guide people down the path, and yeah. It's definitely starting, isn't it? Definitely starting, though. Look at that. It's starting. Building the base now for the last 12 months. Starting to break out. It's all starting. Let's go back to here. Mining sector, same thing. Mining sector still looks really strong. Very strong, actually. I wonder what. NEM back up again. Barrick. What about AG? What's AG doing? Oh, there you go. Bounced off too, didn't it? Look at that. Just beautiful bounce off the line there. Beautiful up move again on AG. Very nice. Very nice. Ba-boom, ba-boom. Away we go. They all came down to the line too, didn't they? All came down to the line there. Oh, look at TLT breakout too. Oh, it's a breakout to the upside. Oh, there's so much opportunity in these markets, guys. There's so much opportunity. You just got to know where to look. Be a trader of all markets. That's what I say. Always scouring the markets to see where's that next opportunity. And even things like one market I've been focused on is the health sector. So the health sector to me is another one of those markets that I don't mention that much, but yeah, the health sector to me is another one of those markets that could be a really nice opportunity. We're not there yet. We're still above this level here. So again, yeah, the health sector has been one of those markets that I've been focused on for a while. It's just another one of those sectors that I see setting up. It's going to be a big week, guys. It's going to be a big week and a good week. A big week and a good week. Transportation average is just beautiful, isn't it? Eh? Look at the transports. That's just breaking out now after all this time. Look at that beautiful, just boop, 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 boop. Now ready to go for another move. I wonder what that's signaling though. The transportation average is making a big breakout after all this time. Look at that there. Now we're starting to move. Does that mean now the transport sector, like the transports industry is going to start to make does that mean they're actually going to be shipping a lot more product? Is that why the transport's making a move? Interesting. Is the transports foreseeing something that there's going to be a bit of a pickup in productivity or GDP in the marketplace? Maybe, I don't know. I'm just having a guess, but it's interesting to see the transports sector, transportation average is actually breaking out and starting to make a move. After all that time, eh? Interesting to see. Oh man, look at that, eh? Yeah, okay, cool. All right, let's go through some stocks here on my watch list. Barber, let's go through the big picture here. This is Barber. Okay. CVS. Oh, it's starting too, isn't it? Look at it go. It's already starting. Just beautiful, isn't it? Woo! For you guys that are listening live anyway, I hope you can see that I have many, many, many different things on my watch list that I don't normally talk about on YouTube. that I keep an eye on for myself as a trading opportunity or investment opportunity. And I only mentioned probably maybe 30% of the stuff that I do with my elite group. But I have all these other different markets I'm focused on and stocks I'm focused on. I just mentioned just a few of them on YouTube. And this is one of the stocks here, by the way. Very nice. Oh man, hey. Disney. Oh, so good. So good. Gotta go too. On my way to my target. 86. Big breakout. Coca-Cola, eh? Look at that thing go. Coca-Cola. M&M. Netflix. Ooh, Nike as well, eh? Nike looks nice. Oh, that looks so good. I'm not sure if you guys are listening live right now, for you guys that are here, but there's just so many different individual stocks that are setting up so nicely. Baba, Disney, Netflix, Nike. There's just so many amazing things that are setting up on an individual stock basis for both short and long, by the way. Good shorting opportunities, good buying opportunities for me. But there's just so many opportunities here. Alrighty, let's actually see. Let's actually do this here. Let's actually get. I think the futures markets are going to open up soon. So let's actually watch those open up and see what. I think they open up soon, don't they? I think it's about 10 minutes, and gold and silver start to open up. Let's actually watch the futures. Let's see. Let's actually watch these open up now. I think it's 10 minutes they open up. Yeah. All right, let's go to here. And let's bring up this layout. Yeah, so the gold price actually opens up soon. So we'll see where it's going to open up at. Whether that's going to have initial reactions. I wonder if some of the foreign exchange pairs, they're not open yet. No. Yeah, so I think it is. I think I don't normally look at the open that much, but yeah, I'm pretty sure in about 7 minutes, it's gonna. Oh, it is open. So we have Aussie had a big gap down. AUD USD had a big gap down. Look at that, eh? So big gap down on the Aussie. AUD USD there. Huh. Wonder where. Okay, so Aussie. Okay, so we may get an initial shock on the downside, but I'm just looking at the Aussie dollar, Aussie USD dollar had a bit of a gap down. The Australian market's actually gapping down a little bit. But all that could just be is just that going on right now, which is just a little bit of a drop, and then we continue back up again. So we're still trading with an overall trend here. So this could just be a drop and then a continue back up again. That's what could be going on as well too. Yeah, so let's go back to okay, gold is open up now. Gold is open. An initial move anyway is up in gold. Let's go to some of the interesting to see, hey? Okay, a lot of these things are open now. Let's go to yeah. Ethereum has more moves, one more move to the downside. Bitcoin has another big drop coming soon as well. So nice, isn't it? There's my L shape. There's my L shape pattern. There's the L shape. It's amazing. Oh, look at oil gap up. Whoa. Look at that thing go. Big gap up in oil. Wow. Opening bid 8% up. Gold and silver on the move. I wonder what. Yeah, but oil initial move with the oil is very strong. Yeah, gold's going to make another new high soon. It's on its way. And silver's building back up again as well. Yep, I thought so. I thought that was just an initial fake out. Look at that. Big bounce off it. I thought so.